Dear students, welcome to our lesson on nationalism in Europe. Let's explore mid-18th century Europe using map of Europe. We will see how different regions, empires and nations were organized. During the mid-18th century, territories that we now know as Germany, Italy and Switzerland were divided into smaller kingdoms, duchies and principalities. Duchess means that a territory ruled by a duke. Did you know the term duke? Either be a monarch, rank below the emperor, but the highest rank. Principality meant by a small state. Each of these rulers had significant autonomy. It means that they governed their territories independently with their own laws, armies, and policies. For example, Germany was divided into numerous kingdoms, principalities, and free cities. Italy was divided into several kingdoms, city states, and papal territories. Did you know a papal territory? It is also known as the papal states. It refers to a region in central Italy that was under the direct rule of the Pope from the 8th century until the unification of Italy in the 19th century. Dear students, in the 18th century, Eastern and Central Europe were characterized by two features. First feature is rulers were autocratic monarchies. It means that they were powerful rulers with absolute authority, such as the Habsburg Empire. And do you know, people were diverse populations. Various ethnic, linguistic, and cultural groups they live within these territories, but no collective identity. Dear students, now we'll explain Habsburg Empire's diversity. The Habsburg Empire ruling over Austria-Hungary was a separate existence comprising various regions and population. There are three different features. First one is the regional identities. The Habsburg Empire included Alpine regions, Tyrol, Austria, Bohemia, Lombardy, Venetia, Galicia, and Transylvania. Language also very different. There are German language, Italian, Polish, Czech, Slovak, Slovene, Romanian, and in Hungary people they spoke Magyar. Did you know their ethnic groups? People from Germans, Hungarians, Italians, Poles, Czech, Slovaks, Slovenes, Romanians. Okay? What are the impact or consequences of these differences? Many consequences are there. Mainly, cultural and linguistic differences are happened. Did you know aristocracies itself, they speaking different language. So, there were tension and conflict between the group. The Habsburg Empire's patchwork nature reflects many problems in Central and Eastern Europe during this period. The diverse populations within the Habsburg Empire did not easily foster a sense of political unity. The primary unifying factor among these groups was their shared allegiance to the emperor. Did you know what is the meaning of allegiance? It means a strong sense of commitment. Okay. So, within these all features, how did nationalism and the idea of the nation state emerge? Next is the aristocracy and the new middle class. Did you know the aristocracy in 18th century Europe held significant power and influence? They were comprising professionals, merchants, and industrialists. So, the second passage describes the social and political landscape of Europe. It's highlighting dominions of the landed aristocracy, characteristics of the aristocracy, demographic reality, land holding patterns. We will check one by one. First one is dominions of the landed aristocracy. They were a dominant class. They held power and influence, sharing a common lifestyle despite regional differences. Okay. Second point, what were their characteristics? They owned estate in the countryside and town houses. They spoke French for diplomacy and high society. They were intermarried within their social circle. Next point is demographic reality. The aristocracy was numerically small. The majority of the population consisted of peasants. And the last point is landholding patterns. Western Europe were tenants of farming. Next point is landholding patterns. Western Europe were tenants farming and small land ownership. Eastern and Central Europe were large estate. It cultivated by serfs. Serfs, they were laborers who worked on land owned by landlords or nobles. Next passage describes two main impacts of industrialization on European society. First, we'll discuss what happened in Western and Central Europe during this time. The growth of industrial production and trade, it meant that it led to the emergence of commercial classes. Okay, now we'll check industrialization timelines. In England, it began in the second half of the 18th century, but in France and German state, it occurred in the 19th century. So we'll check the second impact. It is mainly happened in society, mainly emergence of new social groups, working class, industrialists, businessmen, and professionals. Next, we will discuss the impact of industrialization in Eastern and Central Europe. Until the late 18th century, working class population were smaller in number. When the rise of nationalism started here, then the ideas of national unity and opposition to aristocratic privileges gained popularity among the educated liberal middle classes. This passage highlights the varying pace of industrialization across Europe and its impact on social structures and the emergence of new ideologies. Next topic is, what did liberal nationalism stand for? This passage describes the ideology of liberalism in 19th century Europe. The term liberalism derives from the Latin root liber, meaning free. Here describes key principles of liberalism. First one is freedom and equality. Liberalism emphasizes individual freedom and equality before the law. Next point is government by consent. It means that liberals advocated for government based on the consent of the people rather than autocracy. Next point is end of privileges. Liberals sought to end clerical and aristocratic privileges, promoting constitutional and representative government. Now, we'll check its economic aspects. Main point is private property. Liberals stressed the inviolability of private property, highlighting its importance in their ideology. Dear students, now we'll check its historical context. Liberalism influence of the French Revolution. It gives inspirations from the French Revolution's emphasis on liberty, equality, and democracy. Liberalism also emergence of liberal ideology. It became a significant force in 19th century Europe, shaping politics and society. Dear students, this passage highlights the core principles of liberalism, its historical context, and its significance in shaping European politics and society during the 19th century. Next passage highlights the limitations of liberal democracy in its early forms. We will check equality before law. Did you know in revolutionary France only property men could vote? Women and men without property were denied political rights. Under Jacobean period, all adult males could vote, but Napoleonic Code limited voting right was reinstated and women's rights were curtailed. Women and non-property men organized to demand equal political rights throughout the 19th and 20th centuries. Dear students, this passage emphasizes the gap between liberal ideas and their practical implementation, highlighting the struggle for equal right and suffrage. Hope you understood. Thank you.